Hi, I'm Netter, and this is Netter's Network. And today I'm going to show you simple makeup. Now for me, my big thing is these dark under eye circles. They are the bane of my existence, and I'm going to show you how to cover them. Now, if you're like me, you don't wear a lot of makeup, or maybe you don't wear makeup at all, but sometimes you might want to wear something, but you may not be sure how to put it on. Well, then this is the place for you. So I just pull my hair back, just for the purposes of this demonstration, to keep it on my way while I'm working. One of the other things you're going to notice about my demonstrations is that I'm not going to start something and then suddenly it's done. I'm going to show you all the steps in between because you need to know that. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that I have a clean face to work with. Now I've just washed my face, but my nose area still tends to be kind of oily, so I'm going to take care of that with some toner and one of these little white cloths. The next thing I'm going to do is moisturize. Where my nose area tends to be oily, the rest of my face tends to be dry. So I want to make sure I take care of that and give it as much moisture as possible. So the moisturizers that I use tend to be a little bit thicker. You can see it's not even falling off my finger, it's not dripping or anything like that. I prefer the thicker ones because they do give me more moisture. If you like a thinner moisturizer, that's all well and good, but I find that it takes a lot longer for them to absorb into my skin, and so I don't like them as much. And I make sure that when I put it on, I'm especially taking care of my under eye area because my under eye area gets really, really dry. And since I'm older, I want to make sure that I get the moisture where it's really needed. If you notice, I'm avoiding my nose area. Since my nose area does tend to get oily, I don't need to get it moisturized. So now I'm going to show you my kit. Now I usually keep all my makeup in a little basket like this, and I have in here different types of makeup. So like different eyeliners, different mascaras, because certain days you want to wear something a little bit different. So I keep them all together here, so when I'm in the mood for more lash, I pull out that mascara. If I want one that's waterproof, I've got that mascara, and they're all right here so I don't have to hunt for them. Something else that I keep in here, which you're going to find is a little weird, my deodorant. And the reason I do that is because how many times have you left the house and gone, I forgot to put on my deodorant? Well, with it being in my makeup, I can't possibly forget it. I've tried having it on my counter, I've tried having it in my medicine chest, and out of sight, out of mind, or it's in front of me so I don't see it. You know, you get into that syndrome. But with my makeup, I would have to move it just to get something that might be underneath it or next to it, so I can't possibly forget it. So that's the beginnings of my kit. Moving on to the next steps. So now I'm going to use my concealer. What I've been using lately is this Master Camo. This one's in pink. They also have other colors, like this one's in red. I got this one by mistake. The red one doesn't work as well for me. In fact, it looks really bad on me, and I'll do both of these comparisons in a future video. I think the red is actually for someone with a darker skin tone, because on me it just, So I'm going to stick with my pink Master Camo. And this does a really good job of covering my under eye circles. So I'm going to just start with patting it underneath. I'm also going to bring it up over my eyelid, because if you notice, this is a little dark too. Not because of like the under eye circles, it's just the color of my skin. And after I put this on, you're going to see a big difference. I'm just smoothing out the eyelid portion with my fingertip. And they always say to use your ring finger because it's supposed to be your gentle finger. Don't know about that, but I got in the habit of doing that, so maybe you should as well. And you can already see the big difference between the two. This eye also looks a lot brighter because I had the concealer all over. And it looks a little bit bigger, so my eye is popping more. So let me get the other eye done. Now, one thing with the camo is you gotta twist it to get the stuff up. And this stuff is really super easy to put on. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is put on my foundation. Now you can use one of these little mushroom brushes or a brush like this. You can also use one of these beauty blender type sponges. I got this one off of eBay for $3. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a sponge. I'm going to just take my foundation. I've already dipped my brush in it. And what I do is I do little dots all over my face. And I'll notice that in some videos, they'll do a big splotch here, 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 and here. And that doesn't really work, because if you think about it, you've got this big splotch, and then when you're parsing it out, you've got great coverage in the center, but then very little coming out on the edges. So if you're doing it my way, where you're putting a lot of little dots all over, you're going to be ensured to have coverage everywhere, not just great coverage in one spot. After I have all my little dots in, I'm just going to blend it in. And I'm making sure that I go around the curves of my nose to get in those spots as well. I'm going very gently under my eyes because that is a very sensitive part of your face. Now if you don't feel that your brush did a good job, you can take your little sponge and smooth it out. Or if you feel there's one spot that has a little bit too much foundation, this will help remove it. You'll also notice I'm going underneath my chin to make sure that I don't end up with one of those weird circles around my face, which I still see some people do. I want to make sure everything's blended in. So your makeup's supposed to look natural, not weird. Now what I'm going to do is set everything with my powder. So I'm going to actually take my little sponge, and what I do is I dip the side of it in, and then I work my way up. Because I don't want a lot of powder around my eyes, simply because I'm older, so powder around my eyes will end up making my makeup look cakey. But it's fine everywhere else. And I'm taking extra care to put a little bit more on my nose, because like I said, I get oily, and this tends to help keep that oil from coming through. I'm also making sure that I put the powder on my eyelids, because it does help with the eyeshadow to stay longer. Now for the fun part. Now, a lot of videos you'll see, they start from the eyes and then go to the cheeks, then the lips. I prefer to do lips, cheeks, then eyes. So when I finish my eyes, then I have that complete look. There's no wrong way to do it, it's just what I prefer. Now I had braces not too long ago, and I noticed that my lips would be really, really dry and cracked. And even after I got my braces off, my lips still tended to be dry. So instead of using lipstick, I'm using this Vaseline Intensive Care. This one's the cocoa butter, and it keeps my lips nice and moist. Plus, it acts kind of like a lip gloss, so it serves the same purpose for me as lipstick. Now the brush that I'm using is actually a small eyeshadow brush, so as seen here. And I got these from the dollar store. So this is a regular eyeshadow brush, and then you can see this other one is a little bit smaller. It's also a little bit stiffer, which makes for a great lip brush. The second thing I'm going to do is now put on my blusher. Now, I had gotten this one also at the dollar store, and I've got a darker color and a lighter color. I don't really use the lighter color, and the darker color may seem really dark, and I had originally gotten it for a cosplay, but once I put it on, I really liked it. So I use it for my everyday now. And all I'm going to do is follow the apple of my cheek, which is this line here, and I'm going to go slightly up around my eye. I was told it's called the sweep. And that kind of carries it up just a little bit. I'm also going to take, now I haven't dipped this back in there, so this is what's left over here, which is very, very little. I'm just doing a quick little sweep over my forehead, my nose, and under my chin. What it does is it helps give you a little bit more dimension to your face so you don't look quite so flat. So now I'm going to do my eyes. And the first thing I start off with is my eyeshadow. And here's that eyeshadow brush that I showed it before. And this is funny. This is a duo eyeshadow. I gotten this on eBay because what was supposed to happen is that this little brush here is you brush over both colors and it's supposed to put both colors on your eyes at the same time, save you time. No, it doesn't work. So I discovered I do like this kind of peachy color, so I've been using that. And I just put it all over. Even though it's a subtle color, it still makes my eyes stand out. Next thing I'm going to do is my eyeliner. Now, I have fallen in love with liquid eyeliners. I used to use pencil eyeliners all the time, and then I would notice that halfway through the day, I wasn't wearing it anymore. It would just kind of disappear. And then I started using liquid eyeliners just to try them and see how they were, and fell in love. These things will last all day and then some. So this one I got from Wish.com. It was actually a 2-pack, so it was like $2 and then $1 shipping, or it was like $1 and $1 ship or something. It's super ridiculous, the prices, and it does take a little while to get to you. So what I generally do is I'll order like 4 or 2 sets of 2, and then when I'm getting down to my last pack, I'll order more so that I can make sure that I get the others in time, so when I run out, I'm not going, I'm out, I don't have any, I still have to wait for my order. But you can get some really great makeup off of Wish.com. Like I said, it just takes a while to get to you. So, liquid eyeliner. I found the best trick for this is to pull your eye taunt and then go over your lash line. If you notice, I've got a very straight line because I pulled my eye taunt. It's one of those model tricks that no one ever tells you about and you kind of find out accidentally. So let me get the other side. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. I generally just go over, make sure I have a nice even line, and I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to put on my mascara. And unlike other mascara videos, you do not need to have your mouth open like a codfish to put it on. I never saw any purpose or reason for that. I guess it's something that's taught from mother to daughter, that this is how you put on your mascara. You have your mouth open like this. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It's not really necessary. I mean, it might widen your eyes a little bit, but it's really not necessary, and it kind of looks ridiculous. So, mascara. Now, I've only pumped it once. You don't really want to pump your mascara because then it gets air inside the container and then dries out your mascara. I also will only do this once. I'm not going to put this mascara wand back in the container during this entire time. You'll see why. So, first, this eye. And to do this lower bit, I'm just, I have my pinky helping to anchor, and I'm doing what's called a windshield wiper. Now, remember I said I'm not going to dip this back in. What I'm going to do, though, is turn it around, because I still have mascara on the side. Why am I going to waste it? And I'm going to use that on the side. And it's funny because I never see anybody do that. They just pump it back in and use the same side again. But why would you want to waste your mascara that way? And there you go. Now this is my simple makeup. You notice there wasn't a lot involved. I've only used my concealer for my darker and dry circles, my foundation to even out my skin tones, powder to set. I put on lip gloss, or if you prefer, you use lipstick, blush, eyeliner, and mascara. Oh, and eyeshadow. got the eyeshadow. Very basic makeup, very simple makeup. And if you've got no under eye circles, then of course you can skip the concealer part. If you've got even skin tone, you don't need to use foundation. Whatever works for you. This is the simplest makeup that I can do for me. You may find that there are some things that you can eliminate for yourself. Like, I don't always wear mascara, so I usually skip that step when I'm putting on my makeup in the morning. I'll just stop at the eyeliner. But there are some days where I want the mascara because maybe, I don't know, I'm going to a meeting or something and I want to look more professional, so I'll put the mascara on. I don't know. But whatever's going to work for you. And I do encourage you to check out other videos to see how other people do their makeup. But this is going to probably be the simplest makeup that you're going to see. I hope you liked this video. And make sure you do all the YouTube things. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And please feel free to leave comments below. I'm happy to read them. And I will respond, I promise. If you have suggestions for other videos that I can do, and this is an eclectic channel, so I'm going to be doing everything from makeup demonstrations, product demonstrations, talking about everything under the sun. If there's anything in particular that you want me to touch on, put it in the comments below. Let's see what I can do with it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a really great day.